Okay guys, I'm going to make this video for y'all. This is on your fall final exam review. Make sure you get this in. This is a grade. Okay, number one. R, M, N, and O collinear. Remember, collinear means that they're on the same side, and which they are. You see here that these are, in fact, on the same line. So we just got to name the line. You can either do it from M-O, N-O, M-O, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm just going to say M-O. Okay, first and last point. Okay. What are the name of three planes that contain B? Well, B is this point right here in the back. You know that because remember, if it has dark lines, that's in front. So the line right here in front, the part right here in front, C, D, G, H. In the back, we're talking about A, B, F, E. Anyway, B is right here, which means this is the back corner on the top. Okay, so the plane that contains that is A, B, D. Over here on the side, B, D, H, and also B, A, B, F, which should be the back. Okay. All right. Number three. Name the intersection of plane A, C, G, which is this side right here on the left. You know, A, C, G. That's the left side, and plane B, C, G. Now, first of all, this is incorrect because on the answers it says that your answer for number three is the line CG, okay, which is this line right here. That is incorrect. These are on three different planes. ACG, these are not on the same plane. So this one really should just be, I just say NA. Okay, this says CG, which is this line segment right there, but that is incorrect. Okay, number four. If EF, this first part right here, 2x minus 8, and FG, the second part right here, equals to 4x minus 13, and the entire thing is 27. Find x, find EF, and find FG. Well, for that, just set up a little equation. You got this one, and the whole thing equals to 27. So let's just put this together and add them up. 2x and 4x is 6x. Negative 8 minus 13 is negative 21. Add 21 to both sides. That's just going to be 6x. 27 plus 21 is 48. Divided by 6, you get x equals 8. So there's the first part. Now for EF, just plug the x in there. 2 times 8 is 16. Minus 8 is just 8. And if they want the second part, FG, now we can just plug this 8 in. 4 times 8 is 32. Minus 13 is 19. Okay, number 5. If Z, right here is the midpoint. In other words, it goes exactly in the middle. Okay, so in other words, both sides have to be equal. Okay, so what is X? What is RZ, this first part, and what is it RT, the entire thing? Well, because I know this is the midpoint, that means that 4x minus 15 equals 25. So I can set that equal to each other, solve, add 15 on both sides. 4x equals 40, and divide by 4, you get x equals 10. There's your x, your RZ, just plug the 10 in there. 4 times 10 is 40. And 4 times 10 is 30. It's 40. That part is bothering me. That's going to be 40 minus 15, which is 25. And then RT, which is the entire thing. Well, that's 25. First of all, I could put this in to this entire thing and say, okay, 4 times 10 minus 15 plus 25. But if this is 25, remember, these are midpoints. So this is a midpoint, so that's 25. That has to be 25. So RT the entire thing has to be 50. Okay, so next page. So number 6, we have if angle AOC is 67 degrees and BOC, which is this bottom part right here, is 2x plus 10. This top part AOB is 4x minus 15. Find the degree measurements of BOC, this bottom part, and AOB, the top part right here. So basically we need to find x first. So let's say we just add these up. Okay, 4x minus 15 plus 2x plus 10. Add them up. I just put them on top of each other. 4x plus 2x is 4x. Negative 15 plus 10 is negative 5. Remember, the entire thing equals 67. Add 5 to both sides. We're going to get 6x equals 72. Divide both sides by 6. You're going to get x equals 12. Okay, now they want to know, well, what is each of these? Well, now that I know that x equals 12, just plug 12 in. 2 times 12 is going to be 24. plus 10, that's going to be 34. 4 times 12 is 48, minus 15 is going to be 33. And of course, if you see here, if you added them up together, those would in fact be 67. Okay, number 7. If the measure of DEF is 114 degrees, and the measure of FEG, so in other words, what is this, and then what is this part down here? So first of all, this is where you don't know this, right? Well, you can get this because remember on a flat angle, okay, that has to add up, those are supplementary, that have to add up to 180 degrees. So I'm just going to say 180 minus the part that I do know, 114, and that's going to leave you 66 degrees, okay? And then remember, these are also, you can look at this two ways. These are also on a flat angle, a straight angle, so those have to add up to 180. Or you can also say, hey, these are vertical angles, so those are right across from each other, parallel angles, so those have to be the same. That's also 114. Okay, so FEG is 66 and HEG is 114. Okay, number 8, if DFG and JKL are complementary, that means they add up to 90 degrees. And the first part is x plus 5, the second part is x minus 3, then name the measurement of each angle. Well, now I can just add them up together. X and x is 2x, 5 minus 3 is 2. They have to add up to 90. Subtract 2 on both sides, you're going to get 2x equals 88, divide by 2, x is 44. So now if we want to find each angle, just plug 44 in for x. 44 plus 5 is 49. 44 minus 3 is going to be 41. Okay? And of course, you see here, if we add them up, they do in fact add to 90 degrees. Okay, number 9. MO, this part right here, bisects LMN, okay? Bisects. So if something bisects, it means it cuts it exactly in half, so each of these sides have to be the same. So if this first part right here is going to be 8x minus 25, you know that because, you know, LMO is that, and then NMO right there is 2x plus 41, solve for x. I can do this because I don't have any other information, but I know that these are going to be equal to each other. You know that because they're on either side of that bisector. So let's just set them equal to each other. Subtract 2x on both sides, get 6x minus 25 equals 41. Add 25 to both sides, we're going to get 6x equals 66. Divide both sides by 6, x equals 11. Okay, so there's the first part. And then they want to know the entire thing, LMN. Okay, so I can just plug a couple of ways. You can either just plug this into the whole thing, say 2 times 11 minus 25 plus 2 times 11 plus 41, or you can just find one of these, okay, first, because remember, whatever this is, this also has to be, okay? So, and that's what I'm going to do here. So 8 times 11 minus 25, 8 times 11 is 88, minus 25 is 63. So that's 63, that also has to be 63. And if you add those together, you're going to get 126 degrees, okay? Number 10, based on the pattern, what are the next two terms? 9 to 15, that's the difference of 6. 15 to 21 is 6. 21 to 27 is also 6. So you can safely assume that these are increasing by 6. 27 plus 6 is 33. 33 plus 6 is 39. Okay? Okay, next page. Okay? Identify the hypothesis and conclusion of this conditional statement. A conditional statement is an if-then statement, basically. Okay. Okay. If two lines intersect at right angles, then the two lines are perpendicular. Okay, this is your statement right there. So, what's your hypothesis? Remember, your hypothesis is your if portion. So it's the two lines, or not the if. The two lines intersect at right angles. The conclusion is two lines are perpendicular. Okay, the hypothesis and conclusion. Number 12. When a conditional statement and its converse, remember converse, you're doing the other part, so it would be like saying if the conclusion then the hypothesis, they combine them together, you can call that a biconditional statement. That would be one of those where you can write it as if and only if. Okay. Okay, number 13, identify pairs of alternate interior angles. When a transversal would be the line that cuts through two parallel lines like so. The external angles are the ones on the outside of this. Remember, exterior on the outside. Interior would be the ones on the inside of the parallel lines. Okay. Alternate angles are ones that are across from each other. Think of A, alternate, across. Okay. So first of all, we're talking about interior angles. Okay. There are alternate exterior angles, so it should be across from each other on the outside. Okay, but we're not being asked for that here. We're being asked for a pair of alternate interior angles. So in other words, we're talking about 8 and 4 as well as 4 and 7. Okay? And each of these would have been fine by themselves. I did both of them. So 8 and 4 as well as 3 and 7. Number 13, identify a pair of alternate interior angles. Oh, that was number 13, sorry. Okay, number 12. Okay, number 12 was that one over. That was number 13. Okay, number 14. What is the relationship between angles 3 and 7? Okay? 3 and 7, these are on the same side. If they're on the same side, your only choices are corresponding angles or of their same side interior. These are not both interior, so that's out. These are corresponding because they're on the same side and you skip one. Okay, think about it like that. Same side and you skip one. Those are corresponding angles. Number 15, line R is parallel to line T. So that the R and T are parallel. Find the measure of angle 6. Well, 6 is going to be the same as angle 3 because those are corresponding angles, just like number 14. The only thing I'm given here is that this is 138 degrees up here. Well, 138 and the one next to it right here, these would be angles right next to each other. Those are those would be right next to adjacent. These are adjacent angles. Okay, so these two together have to, or in fact, these would be supplementary. They would add up to 180. So I'm just going to say 180 minus the 138. That's going to be 42 degrees. So that's 42. Remember, this is also going to be 42 because these are corresponding angles. Okay, all right, next one. Okay, number 16. Okay, find the value of x for which angle or line L is parallel to line M. Okay, the diagram not done scale. Okay, well, these are both interior angles. You know that because they're both on the inside of these two parallel lines. Okay, and they're across from each other. These are alternate interior angles. So these are the same. So I can just set these equal to each other. 3x minus 42 equals 80. Add 43 to both sides. 43 I meant. 43 to both sides. That's going to be 3x equals 123. Divided by 3, you're going to get x equals 41. Number 17. Find the value of x. The diagram is not drawn to scale. Okay, this is 110 right here on the outside. This one is also going to be 110 right there on the inside because these are vertical angles. Vertical or parallel angles, same deal. So that's 110 and this is 57 and that's x. They all have to add up to 180. So I'm just going to set that up. X plus 110 plus 57 equals 180. 110 and 57 is 167. 180 minus 167 is going to be x equals 13 degrees. Number 18, what is the slope of the line shown? You have these 2 points here and they're giving you the coordinates. You can either do rise over run, or if they just give you 2 points like that, you can just use the slope formula, which is what this is. So that's what I'm going to do. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I label your points first. There's my first one. So P1 or point 1 is -6, -3. Point 2 is 1, 6. So I'm just going to label them. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Plug them into the formula. So I'm going to say 6 minus -3. Minus negative is going to change to a plus. That'd be like a big plus there. That's 9. 1 minus -6. Also, this is also going to become a plus. Minus negative is going to be plus. So 1 minus -6 is going to be 7. So 9/7 is your answer. Next page. Okay, number 19. What is the graph of -3x minus 2? So first of all, when you're looking at this here, your slope is what's ever being multiplied to x. Remember, your slope m is like your map. Okay, it tells you how to get from point to point. And whichever you're adding, that is your y-intercept. In other words, that's where it hits the y-axis. So I know here that I'm looking for where this is going to hit at -2. And the slope here is negative. Well, negative slopes, a line with a negative slope, are going to be diagonal lines going down from left to right. So that's why I know that A is out. because this one's going up. This should have a positive slope. It does have the correct y-intercept, but that was out because this has a positive slope. These three have negative slopes, so these are possibilities at this point. Okay, now I'm looking for what hits at -2 on the y-axis. So that would be C, not D, so that's why this one's out, and B. These both hit at -2. Now it comes down to, these are both negative and they both hit at -2. Which one has the correct slope? If I'm looking at C, I'm going from this point to this point. I should be going 3 down and 4 to the right. Well, this goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I go to the right 1, 2, 3. That would be a slope of -4/3. That's the wrong slope. This one over here, you see it goes down 1, 2, 3, and it goes to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one's good. Number 20, write an equation in point slope form. Point slope form, remember you're talking about, this is the point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so I'm given my point right here. So this is going to be x1 your y1. This is your slope. So there's your m. So let's just plug everything in. So y minus y1, well, that's a negative. So that's going to change to a plus 4. That's going to equal this slope 4. That's where that 4 comes from. Times x minus that x1, which is 4 as well. Because they asked for this in point slope form, we're done right there. When I first did this, I took it all the way to y equals. This would have been slope intercept form, but they didn't ask for that. They specifically asked for point slope form, so we were done right there. Okay, and that's answer choice B. Number 21, what is the equation in point slope form? Again, the same thing. I just wanted y minus 1 and y1 equals m times x minus x1. For the line that's parallel to y equals 5x minus 4. This is some other line. I don't care anything about this line, but I need the slope. Because two lines that are parallel have the same slope. Well, this slope right here, remember your slope is what's being multiplied to x. So my slope here is 5. There's my m, and there's my map. And this contains the line -6, 1. So that's this point right there. So there's x1, y1. I'm going to plug that in here. So y minus 1 equals m, which is 5, times x minus -6. Well, that's minus negative, so that changes to a plus. And I'm done right there because they wanted this in point slope form. Okay, number 22. What is congruent or angle ABC? Angle ABC, and when they say, when they write it like this, ABC, they're just talking about that middle letter, that angle right there. So angle B. Okay, so what is congruent to that? Well, here these are called congruence markings. You see here you got 3, here you have 2, and here you just have 1. For the sides, these are also congruence marking. 1, 2, 3 right there. That's just how you can tell if sides are the same. Because we don't have any measurements. We don't have any actual numbers in there, okay? But this has one of these arcs right here, and this one has the same. So I know that this is going to be congruent. B is congruent to angle N, or since they wrote it like this, angle ABC, I'm going to say that this is going to be angle PNM. Okay, next page. Everybody can get this. Okay, so number 23. Given that angle QRS is congruent, remember that little squiggly line with the equal is congruent to angle TUV. So I just drew a picture, triangle, triangle. So I said QRS and TUV. Okay, so if these are congruent, they told you that right there. So QS right here is going to be 3V plus 2. TV is going to be 7x minus 6. Well, these are going to be the same. Okay, so I'm just going to set these equal to each other. 3x plus 2 equals 7x minus 6. Subtract 7v on both sides. I'm going to get negative 4v. Subtract 2 on both sides there. This is going to be negative 4v equals negative 8. Divide by negative 4. You're going to get v equals 2. And I want to know, well, what is the length of each of these? So now I'm going to plug v in. 3 times 2 is 8 plus 2. It's going to be, it's going to be 6 plus 2, which is 8. And then if I did that here, if this is 8, this one's also going to be 8. But I could plug that in. 3 times 2 is 14, minus 6 is going to be 8. So see, they're both going to be 8. 24. What other information do you need in order to prove that triangles, the triangle's congruent using side angle side? Okay. Well, if I'm going to do that, this bisector has to be perpendicular down here. So I'm going to say that AC has to be perpendicular to BD right there. Okay, so there's my answer right there. It has to be perpendicular. That has to be perpendicular to that. Okay. Which triangles are congruent by angle side angle ASA? So if I'm going to do that, first of all, it's going to be these. The reason it's going to be these because that's what you have. You're looking for two angles right here, right? Well, both of these have two angle markings. You have the one arc right there, and then you have the two right there, and then of course then you have the side right there. This only has one angle indicated, so that's out. So it's going to be these two triangles right here. So I'm going to say triangle FGH and triangle ABC. Okay, number 26. What is the value of X? Okay, well, they're giving you 38, and this is 21, and this is 21. This is an isosceles triangle. If that's X, this also has to be 6. I mean, not X, 6X. Okay, so that's X, and that's X, and that's 38. So they all have to add up to 180. So subtract 38 on both sides. I'm going to get 2x equals 142 divided by 2. X equals 71. 27, the legs of an isosceles triangle. Remember, isosceles triangle, two sides are going to be the same. And they have lengths 3x plus 1 and negative x plus 7. And these are going to be the same. Okay, remember, isosceles have to both be the same, equals to each other. The base is length 3x minus 3. What is the length of the base? So I'm going to set these equal to each other, solve for x, and then I'll plug that in here. So x plus 1 equals negative x plus 7. That's negative, add x to both sides. I'm going to get 2x plus 1, subtract 1 on both sides. 7 minus 1 is 6. 2x equals 6 divided by 2. X equals 3. Now I'm going to use that 3. I'm going to plug it in for this part. So 3 times 3 is 9. Minus 3 is going to be 6. Okay, next page. Okay, 28. Okay, points B, D, F are midpoints for this whole thing right here, A, C, E, right? See, midpoint, 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 right? Now they're giving you that that EC is 30, okay? Well, there's your midpoint, so each of these is going to be 15, okay? They didn't ask for that though. They could have said, what is this, or what is this? That would have been 15. Okay, the other part they're giving you is that this DF is 17. Well, this is the exact same thing as this right here. So this is also 17. Well, they told you that this is your midpoint. So that's the midpoint. That's 17. That also has to be 17. So the question is, what is AC? This is the whole thing right there. Well, 17 plus 17 is going to be 34 degrees. Okay, degrees. Okay. Oh, no. Ain't no degrees. Sorry, made that up. It's just 34. Okay. 29, use the information of the diagram shown here. Okay, so you got this tree which hits right here in the middle, right? So if this is 150 degrees, this is just going to be half of whatever that is, so this is just going to be 75. Okay, 30. DF, and there's the bill. Okay, so I will continue this in a minute. Bye.